Hello, Quincy. My name is Jonathan Lott, and I'm running as an independent for the U.S. House of Representatives in Massachusetts' 8th District, which includes parts of Boston, all of Quincy, down the coast to Scituate, through Stoughton, where I live, down to Bridgewater, and west to Walpole. I'd show you a picture, but the local television people said I couldn't show any graphics in this video. So for the next 4.5 minutes, generously provided by QATV, I, John Lott, am going to speak plainly to you about why I'm running and about the many converging problems which we face as a society. A little bit about my background first. I was born and raised down in Stoughton. I went to Catholic Memorial High School in West Roxbury and then the University of Vermont, where I graduated in 2014. I spent a couple years teaching Latin and then world cultures at Needham and later Holbrook, and I hitchhiked across the country, which I later published a book about. In 2016, I, John Lott, ran for Massachusetts State Senate as an independent because I wanted to do something about the opioid epidemic, which is still going on in the state, as many of you know. I lost that election and thereupon began traveling. I spent some time in Tanzania, where my mother runs a nonprofit organization, and I eventually went to China, where I taught American history, economics, English, leadership, and US government across a couple schools in Xiamen and then Chengdu. Then I taught English at a university in southern Saudi Arabia for a year and flew home on a repatriation flight during the coronavirus pandemic. My years overseas gave me an even more complex perspective. And during that time, I woke up to a lot of interconnected problems and the repercussions that we're likely to experience within the near to midterm future. Many of us already take environmental policy seriously. We know about rising sea levels and threatening coastal communities like Quincy, about storms in the Gulf, about plastic pollution run rampant in the Pacific. We know our precious forests are being cut down and areas are experiencing drought. Did you know that every year the Earth loses forest cover equal to the size of Ireland? When the Amazon rainforest is harvested to an ecological tipping point, it will never return. When the Sahel expands another few hundred miles into Central Africa, when India and Pakistan and Iraq and Egypt run out of water, when hundreds of millions of refugees are put to flight by famine and war, there is going to be more violence that has the potential to go nuclear. The truth is that fresh water alone will become a rarer and more precious thing. Even if we in Quincy keep easy access to tap water, we will not be immune from the downstream effects that these water wars cause. It goes far beyond drinking water. We are overfishing and overpolluting our oceans, and they are rising in temperature, becoming more acidic and inhospitable towards life. We are simply approaching greater resource scarcity. You cannot grow infinitely on a finite system. We are nearing an ecological correction that gets worse every day that we don't address it. When the polar sea caps melt forever, it's theorized that some major sea currents will change, which could throw large regions of the world into weather-related disruption. The United Nations says we have about 10 years left to take global action to stop the oncoming climate crisis. It may already be too late. The truth is that we are consuming too much. Our energy-heavy lifestyles are not sustainable. I don't blame ordinary people for this. I, John Lott, have been on way more flights than most people, and I eat meat, and I use plastic straws, and I drive an old 1997 Ford van. People like you and I are just incentive takers, and we need to change the behavior of the people at the top, the incentive makers, they who write the laws and make the decisions. We need a robust international climate agreement much stronger than Paris to hold all the nations of the world responsible for our carbon emissions. At the very least, we need to secure our water resources for more than 100 years and insulate ourselves from the worst of what's coming. I know I've presented a bleak picture of the future right here. Climate change, resource scarcity, and nuclear war are the big three threats that loom large in the future. Mark my words. We don't feel these threats very strongly in 2020, but they are there. With this pandemic and the economy being in disaster mode, it's easy just to focus on the most immediate issues. I wish I had more time here to share my ideas, but I would like to direct you to my website, lott2020.com, which you see in the background here. My website has a lot more detail about how I think we can fix the COVID-19 pandemic, jump out of this economic trap, and provide nearly free universal healthcare to all Americans. You can find important links to scientific resources, my Twitter, and my positions on other issues as well. Please stay safe, dear viewer. I know this is an awful time for a lot of us, for a lot of reasons right now, but we will get through it. Please vote for me, John Lott, on your 2020 ballot. Vote for healthcare, environment, stability.